how does a Milarepa become the model of a civilization? And of course, what we've been talking about here is the fully awakened, enlightened, the fully realized Buddha is the model. And so a person like Milarepa, who did become a fully awakened, enlightened Buddha, right, was totally available to people and animals and phenomena throughout the universe. That is the ideal. That is the archetype. That is the model for whatever you're doing. So that whatever you're doing, even if it is building a principality, as in fact Milarepa's guru, Marpa, did. He built himself a principality. But while he was building the principality, he developed himself as a Buddha as well. And he handed on to Milarepa, who in a different form, in the form of a hermit, in the form of an ascetic, also manifested the same Buddha nature. All right? So that suddenly becomes the basis out of which you can weave an entire civilization. All right? And that is the thing that I think we're missing. We're missing the civilization that emerges out of the cave where a person goes to meditate, out of the hermitage where a person discovers the fullness of being itself through spiritual practice. What's the natural state? The natural state is this complete openness so that your mind and body are completely open to something much greater than what we are, all right? And yet is not separate from what we are. It's one of those things that goes beyond words, but once you've seen it, and once you've touched human beings who live that all the time, you'll never forget it.
Am I a man dreaming I am a butterfly? Or am I a butterfly dreaming I am a man? One of the most ancient Tibetan spiritual practices is called Dream Yoga. Dream Yoga is known to be one of the primary practices of the legendary 6 yogas of Naropa. Imagine, as you are watching right now, that you are actually dreaming. What is it that makes you think that you are awake right now? How can you be certain if you are dreaming or if you are awake? What if you learn to control your own dreams? You can do this with a practice of Dream Yoga, an ancient method used by Mahasiddhas and immortals. Dreams can be so powerful that they can change the world. Artists, writers, scientists, and inventors have all been inspired by dreams. Solutions to complex problems have been made clear within dreams. Dreams also occur outside of 3-dimensional space and time and can reveal the future. Padmasambhava in 8th century Tibet described a dream where he saw a future time in which the iron bird flies and horses run on wheels, and the Tibetan people were scattered around the earth, and the Dharma came to the land of the red man. He was clearly seeing the world as it became in the 20th century. Many of the great scientific discoveries are the result of parallel probable versions of the scientists communicating within dreams according to the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. As you are watching right now, there are multiple parallel, probable, and alternate versions of yourself doing the same thing simultaneously in multiple dimensions. To control the dreams while you are dreaming enables you to access creative information that can completely transform your experience of reality. And to have what is known as a lucid dream is to understand your waking life is also a part of your personal dreamscape. During the course of the day, it is necessary to ask yourself repeatedly, is this a dream? To discover your true self while in a lucid dream, go to a mirror and embrace the image of yourself that you see there. Lucid dreaming is a metaphor for enlightenment. To realize you are dreaming while you are dreaming represents the ability of each human being to realize that their own perception is dreamlike, and to achieve greater and greater levels of awakening through their own spiritual practices. One of the primary ways of realizing that you are dreaming while you are dreaming is to recognize an incongruity within the dream. To realize that you are flying, you are walking on water, that because you are walking through a wall, that this means that this is a dream because you could not possibly be doing this in three-dimensional reality. The goal of dream yoga is to discover who you really are. So to see a golden embryonic version of yourself within your dreams through a complete Kundalini activation represents complete self-discovery and ultimate enlightenment.
Now, there are certain prayers and practices also that the Tibetans give for how to position your body when you sleep so that the channels are in the proper position, so that you're breathing properly. Also, they give a number of prayers that can be said. And I say one of these prayers from time to time about being able to see dreams as lucid and also to recognize the awake state as dreamlike in some ways. Because this way you see through, right? You see through the patterns of energy, all right? Doesn't mean that they're not there. It means that you see through them. You see their qualities and the woven quality of all phenomena.
It is the dream of enlightenment which makes achieving immortality possible. The deepest level of our dreams has always been enlightenment.
That's a great blessing. And these are the kinds of things that the lamas, the tradition of dream yoga really is a wonderful gift, because then you can use your nocturnal experience as part of your practice. And it goes right along with what I was saying about everything being an oblation, everything being an offering. Because if you waste, your valuable sleep time, right, you're losing several hours of practice every day. But if you turn sleep into a practice, then you're practicing all the time. And so your body at all times is engaged in some kind of spiritual activity. A pretty good thing.
To know others is wisdom, but to master oneself is enlightenment. Those who conquer others require great strength, but to conquer oneself requires true power. You can enter the Tao through the true mastery of martial arts. The traditional goal of higher martial arts in China has always been to enter the Tao, which is the achievement of enlightenment, seeing your original face, or successfully cultivating the spiritual embryo which transforms you into an immortal. So traditionally, the greatest martial artists reach this ultimate level, in which you unite the energy of the body with the energy of the Tao and actually become a living Buddha. The secret of martial arts is a Kundalini activation, which results in the enlightened warrior seeing his original face and achieving inner illumination. The master martial artist actually unites the microcosm of the body with the macrocosm of the universe, and in doing so discovers the holographic nature of reality. This process unites the mind of the individual with a universal mind. Bodhidharma, the founder of Zen Buddhism, is the most well-known and respected Buddhist teacher in East Asia. In the 5th century, he traveled from India to China to teach the monks of the Shaolin Temple. It was there that he created Shaolin martial arts, a method of self-defense which included meditation and enlightenment. Bodhidharma taught there was no enlightenment outside of the mind, and that the mind is enlightenment itself. Enlightenment is not just an awakening of the mind, it is a physical process as well. Many of the greatest teachers of wisdom have activated the original mind using the source energy of their bodies. This experience is called seeing your original face or returning the original spirit to void. The Tao is based on the unity of the essential triad of heaven, earth, and humanity. The ideal of the Shaolin Temple is to enter the way by mastering meditation and Qi cultivation as well as martial arts. The creation of Tai Chi is based on the 1,000-year-old story in which the founder, Shang Sanfeng, observed an epic battle between a crane and a snake. He watched intently as the bird fiercely attacked the snake again and again. With each attempt of the bird to kill the snake, the serpent's agility, yielding and flowing movements enabled it to survive. The crane used its speed and mobility to avoid the snake's counterattacks and also remained unharmed. Shang Sanfeng is also said to have had a dream the following night in which he was visited by the legendary god of war, Quan Ti. Quan Ti taught him the methods of celestial martial arts and the alchemical secret of the golden embryo. Shang Sanfeng combined these lessons with a style of fighting based on the movements he observed of the crane and the snake. This method relies upon internal power, or Qi, and is based on the principle that yielding overcomes aggression and softness overpowers hardness. Shang Sanfeng called it Tai Chi Chuan, or the Supreme Ultimate Fist. The highest level of martial arts is based on the enlightened warrior seeing his original face and successfully cultivating the spiritual embryo. This has the potential of transforming an individual into an immortal or a living Buddha. Many of the greatest Chinese martial artists actually achieved this level of enlightenment and used their incredible skills and power to protect and benefit their people.